Everett didn't need to kill Tim and Lucy. He just needed to kidnap them on their happiest day. Because the real victory isn't taking someone's life. It's taking their ability to feel safe. And Season 9 is about watching a precinct try to function while their foundation is completely shattered. Welcome to Epic Explanation. Here's the devastating reality of the rookie's ending. Everett is already winning. Not because he escaped, but because he's destroyed the trust that holds the LAPD together. Wes destroyed his relationship with Tim by working for Everett. The helicopter magnet rescue proves Everett has resources the police can't match. And Tim and Lucy got kidnapped on the day they became engaged. That's not a cliffhanger. That's systematic destruction. Think about what Everett actually represents. He's not just a criminal. He's a force that corrupts everything around him. He doesn't need to be free to hurt people. He just needs to exist. His influence spreads like poison through relationships, through careers, through the fundamental trust that law enforcement depends on. Wes made a choice to work for Everett, but that choice didn't buy him redemption. It bought him destruction. He tried to expose Malcolm's corruption by getting close to Everett, but all he actually did was betray Tim. All he actually did was prove that no one is strong enough to resist Everett's gravity. Tim rightfully shut him out, not out of cruelty, but out of self-protection. Because Tim understands something essential. If you let corruption touch you, even in the name of fighting corruption, you become corrupted. That separation, that moment when Tim tells Wes he's no longer welcome, that's the real tragedy. Not because Tim is wrong, but because it proves that Everett's strategy is working. He's not just breaking laws. He's breaking bonds. He's fragmenting the team from the inside. And then comes the kidnapping. The transport ambush was military-grade. Pickup trucks with nails. A helicopter with a magnet. This isn't organized crime. This is a private army. Everett has resources that rival government agencies. And he used those resources not to escape justice, but to send a message. I can reach anyone, anywhere, anytime. Tim and Lucy experienced the cruelest timing possible. They got engaged. They were happy. For one moment, they believed that their fight was worth it. That love could survive the darkness they work in. And then Everett's people showed up with needles and took that moment away. That's not revenge. That's psychological warfare. Now comes Season 9. And the real question isn't whether Tim and Lucy survive. It's whether the LAPD can function when the person hunting them is essentially untouchable. It's whether a team can maintain professional standards when their captain's fiancé is a hostage. It's whether justice is even possible against someone who has the resources of a nation-state. Here's my prediction. Season 9 isn't about catching Everett. It's about understanding that Everett has already won. The LAPD can rescue Tim and Lucy, but Everett's influence will remain. The distrust between Wes and Tim will fester. The knowledge that Everett can reach anyone will poison every operation. The precinct will become paranoid. Officers will question each other's loyalty. And Everett, from a cell or in hiding, will be smiling because he's already destroyed what matters more than freedom: trust. Now, let's talk about Miles. His storyline represents something different. Miles represents the possibility of redemption, of growth, of a young officer learning his craft and earning his place. But even Miles can't escape the dysfunction that Everett has created. He gets cleared of the shooting incident, but he still can't graduate because bureaucracy doesn't bend for the worthy. That's not just unfair. That's the system itself becoming an instrument of delay. Nyla writes him a recommendation. But recommendations don't matter when the system demands specific hours. Miles did everything right and still gets punished by the institution he's trying to serve. Season 9 gives Miles his graduation. But by then, he'll understand something darker. Following the rules doesn't protect you. Systems are designed to protect themselves, not the people serving them. My ultimate prediction: Season 9 opens with Tim and Lucy rescued but changed. Not traumatized in ways that make them weaker, but transformed in ways that make them understand that the personal cost of fighting evil is permanent. They survived kidnapping, but their innocence didn't. Their belief that love is safe didn't. The season becomes about a precinct learning to function under siege, about officers questioning loyalty, about the realization that one man, even in custody, can destroy an entire institution just by existing. Everett doesn't need to escape. He's already won by making everyone around him question whether the fight is worth the price. Drop your theories below. Will Tim and Lucy survive the kidnapping intact? What happens between Wes and Tim in Season 9? Can Miles finally graduate? And most importantly, can the LAPD actually stop Everett, or has he already won? Subscribe to Epic Explanation because The Rookie Season 9 is about to prove that sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the one who fights you. It's the one who makes you fight yourself.